Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Cleaning Business Mentor podcast. On today's episode, I have a very special guest and a good friend of mine, Miss Regina Jaramillo of Bright Corners from Ocala, Florida.
Ocala.
Welcome, Regina. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited. We've been trying to do this for a little while, but finally our agendas synced in together. So, yes, we're finally here.
I know I'm super excited to introduce you to the YouTube community here. So Regina and we actually met through networking. I believe it was at a cleaning and cocktails event that Ricky Regalado and the Route team had put together. And it was one of the first cleaning events that I had ever attended. And I remember going with my friend Mila, who you actually happen to know, and it was just such a really nice connection to see so many women and people in the cleaning industry that were like coming together. And I just want to say thank you because you were super, super welcome and warming when I met you and your husband Juan. So I just want to say thank you for like being so nice and supportive because I don't think that if I didn't have that like really nice experience at that first cleaning and cocktails, I don't think I would have went to any other networking event. So thank you for being so kind.
Oh, thank you for those words, Carolyn. For us, getting to know other peers and becoming friends, it's one of the blessings that this industry has given us. So thank you. I am very grateful to get to know you and all of our now friends that we first met a couple of years back, and just to see the trajectory and see where we are now, where we're heading, where we come from. It's just amazing. So thank you. You're a very valuable person, and I hold you to my heart very dearly. So I am grateful to be here today.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I would love to have you just do a formal introduction of yourself for those that might not have seen you before on, any of the YouTube channels. And also, if you could just tell us, so a little bit about yourself, a little bit about the business, and how you guys really got into the cleaning business. Because I know where you guys are today. I know of the things that you guys have been working on over the last couple of years. But I personally don't really know the journey that you guys had. So I'm actually interested, as well as everyone else that's listening, how you and Juan got started on this business.
Oh, wow. How we got started in this business? Well, we started 13 years ago. Juan and I have always been one of those couples that we've always dreamed together. So one of those dreams was to become our own boss and have our own business. And we had tried over the years a couple of things. I mean, Juan and I have been together for 27 years now. And ever since we were teenagers, we've always had dreams. And a cleaning company, this company right now was actually our second attempt at opening up a cleaning company. Our first one, we always joke around because we said that one didn't work because of the name. It was a funny name. Don't ask me the name. So, but this time around, we wanted to do something different, and that pushed that helped us get into the business was my third child, who was a godsend. We have two older ones, 19 and 20, and at that time we just didn't think we were gonna have another kid. But hey, I had prayed, and here comes my third baby. So we were like, okay, we need something extra now. I think it's time. Let's do it this time around, but let's do it different. And different meant was, let's make a whole company. Let's just not do something on the side to get a little bit of money. Let's dream big. Let's have a vision. Let's just make it, corporate, commercial, and let's do this. And that's how we started. We went, we picked our logo. We big on branding. I mean, I think those are one of the things that can describe those a lot, is we're are big, huge on branding. And those are one of the things we wanted to be set aside, set apart. We wanted just to be different on that side. For many years, people are used to seeing a cleaning company or residential cleaning, on the small side, and your broom and your mop and all that. We just didn't want to do that. It's okay for other people, but we just wanted to do like that. But 13 years when we opened, we said, okay, let's do janitorial, let's do commercial, but it didn't come. Commercial didn't come right away. Like many people think.
Mm-hmm.
It took me 6 months, big belly and all. I share this story a lot because I was pregnant with my third baby and I was knocking on doors. I wasn't doing any cold calling. I wasn't doing any mailing. I just got my business cards and I was just literally knocking on doors. And it took me 6 months for that first medical office to open the doors for me and to say, hey, we're interested, let's do a walkthrough, let's get a proposal. And, after that 6 months, the contract took about another 2 months, for them to decide because
Right.
and for them to decide. And at that time, Juan was like, oh, I don't know if this is good. This is good. I'm like, yes, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. If God, opened the doors, we're going to do this. And we did it. And we've had the same client. We take care of around 10 of their medical offices until now for 13 years. So, hey,
Wow, congratulations. That is awesome.
yes. So that was the commercial, right? It took 6 months and then plus another 2 months to get a contract. But the residential had a mind of its own, and it just grew. And we just started with residential, and so while we were waiting for the commercial, but that's how we started doing residential first, and just waiting for that commercial, but keep working on it and just being persistent.
That's awesome. I love that although the first time around it didn't work out, you guys were like, you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to do this the right way. And the fact that you were knocking on doors 6 months pregnant, kudos to you because I remember being about 6 months with my second and I just like I could barely walk. So for you to be knocking on doors and landing that contract, I think is super inspiring. And something I think that's really important for anybody that's listening, she got that contract by being consistent and being persistent. So
Yes.
it took her 6 months, okay, a
Mhm.
half a year of knocking on doors to
Yeah.
finally get that first contract. For those that are thinking like, oh, you're doing enough, you're knocking on enough doors, you're making enough
Hmm.
calls, you're probably not.
Hmm.
You're
Exactly.
probably not because you have to do this like in volume and you have to keep going even when you're not seeing the results. And
That's
to
right.
hear that now you guys are doing have 10 other locations. The fact that they're still even your customer for
Yeah.
13 years, that says a lot about you guys as a company. So I'm really happy that that worked out so well for you. And it's funny because with the house cleaning, I feel like we kind of experienced the same thing. We wanted to do focus on commercial, but whatever it is, the market, people just keep calling us to clean homes. So
Mhm.
I totally understand, wanting to start with the other, but taking on that residential work.
Yes, definitely. And sometimes we don't see the benefits of just, doing that. I didn't see it at the beginning. I said we took the residential because it was what was coming in, right? And the truth is we needed money. We needed that extra money.
Right.
But I said residential was my school, really. We had done some little things in the past because my mother-in-law used to clean, and I used to clean with her too. Some offices I used to help her out just a few times. I remember I used to clean an office with her, and we were getting paid back then $7.75 an hour, and we will
Oh,
split
wow.
that in half. Imagine that. But like I said, we didn't give up. We kept going, and we just took on residential like our school. And I have to thank really residential because that just helped us to grow, to value our team, to teach, to really learn from them, and learn the techniques of residential, and then implement in offices and things like that. So I love both residential and commercial. I mean, residential is my baby. My residential crew was, I mean, when I was doing that, that was my time because, with being a wife and having a business, you have to create that balance, which is one of the things that I'm going to be talking about, Mel. And my balance was between Juan and I. We delegated that during the day I would take care of our residential. So to me, going during the day and taking care of my girls and my crew and visiting with them and getting to know my clients and doing that, to me, that was great. I used to love being out and just being with them and checking up on them, and just being there. At night was a little different. It's still a little different because Then at night, it's when I'm home, when I'm a mommy, when I get to take care of
Right.
my home. And then that's always been Juan's side. That's been what he's been taking care of. So it's different. It's different for me, residential.
I love the dynamic that you and Juan have with the business. I think it's amazing. It's like really inspiring because, for one, working with family can be difficult, right?
Yes.
But to work with your partner who you're married to, you live with, you have children with, that's a whole nother level. And I respect you both so much for that because you're able to work together, right? There are a lot of couples that you wouldn't even think about bringing on your partner, right?
Yes.
Because you want to keep that marriage or that relationship,
Right.
good. And
Same.
sometimes working together, it's difficult. But I love that you guys have this dynamic where you guys work very well together. Like you said from the beginning, you guys dream big together.
Hmm.
So that says a lot about the relationship that you guys have personally, because, like I said, it can be hard at times, to even consider working with somebody that you love. And the fact that you were doing, like in the beginning, day shift, night shift, and kind of making it work, it sounds like, it was really ideal for you guys. And I respect you guys so much for that because, like I said, I watched my parents try to run a business together, and it just did not work out.
I mean, it has it's up and downs, definitely. I mean, there's been times where we just want to kill each other.
Right.
We know each other so well. We just look at look at each other, and we're like, okay, I think it's time for me to walk to the mailbox of the office,
Right, right, right.
or it's time for me to go pick up my girl. I'll just see you later. And it's been a challenge. It has been a challenge, of course, because then you need to learn how to separate your home life with your business life, and it's not always that easy. But I'm grateful to have each other. I'm grateful that, number one, I have God. Believe me, I'm a big believer. We're big people of faith, and if I didn't have that, I'll tell you right now, I would not be here. I would not be here, because sometimes the hardest thing to recognize is that you can't do things on your own strength. And
Yes.
that's been us. I'm able to rely on God and look for him, and then also in my partner in life and my partner in business. So we love working together. I love sharing time with Juan. And I remember back when sometimes we had to go and clean offices, and I'll be tired, those days where I could just, have my kids being taken care of by my mother-in-law, or something like that. But I would go with him, and Juan is the fun. He's so much fun to work with. You'll see him, and he's always so happy, and he's listening to music and salsa, and you just see him, doing his thing, and I'm like, oh, I'm tired. Oh, I want to be home. But he's just he's that fuel, and I'm like, yes, okay, good. Let's do this. So I love spending every minute of it with him.
That's awesome. I love you guys. You guys are such a power couple. So I know you said in the beginning you guys were taking on a lot of that residential and building up the commercial side of your business. Where are you guys at today? Are you still doing both? Are you focused more on the commercial work? Because on Facebook and like your social media, I do see like a lot of the buildings, the
Mhm.
industrial side of it. And speaking back to your marketing, phenomenal. I love your guys' logo, the colors, and you guys are really big on branding. And
Yes.
I think it's awesome because I see the pictures and I'm like, oh my God, they're matching their garbage cans. This is amazing.
Yes, I love that. I mean, you could tell, you could see that we love that. We love our logo. We're so proud of it. I mean, there's been a lot of sweat and tears into this. I mean, 13 years building this, and what we still have ahead in our goals. It's a lot, but we're working towards it. I mean, one of the things that it's important to us is to be able to align all those little things together, our branding, our culture, and all of that. And when going back to your question, so our main focus right now, it's still commercial. We're still growing our commercial and our area. we want to be the leading company in our area. I will not ever say that we are the best, because there's are really good companies, but I want to be that leading company that educates our clients and educates other companies around us. Residential, like I said, is still, I hold dearly to my heart. And even though we kind of paused that for a little while, residential, like I said, it still has a mind of its own. So
Right.
I still take residential.
Nice.
We're planning to keep growing that residential, and this time I think we're gonna do it a little different. But we're working on that. We're working on that. We're
I love
coming
that.
back to
Always
residential.
tweaking. Yeah, always tweaking and improving. I love that. You
Right.
know, with business, that's pretty much what it is. Figuring out what's working currently, making things,
Hmm.
much better experience. So I think what you guys are doing is awesome. I also did see, which I'm super happy about, that you and Juan are also now educating the Latino community,
Right.
which I am so happy about. And I think that aligns with a lot of what we're also doing with the Mujeres Empresaria group, which I think is beautiful because, and I'll let you talk a little bit about it, but pretty much like something that I think we've all kind of noticed over, the X amount of years of being in the business is that the Latino community, we genuinely have like this natural inkling to cleaning, right? Like we happen
Yes.
to be good at it. We like it. A lot of us do it full time for work. My grandmother was a house cleaner. I used to clean with my grandfather at night. He was a janitor.
Oh.
And it just seems like a lot of us, like including my grandparents, right? Like they're a really great example on both sides, actually. My mother's parents and my father's parents, when they first got here, they started to clean, right? But they were never able to actually build a business off of it. They were able to, pay their bills. I remember that was their job, but my grandparents never had like a legitimate cleaning business where they were hiring people, they were able to scale it. And I think that that's something that we've all been kind of recognizing lately, is that the Latino community just has that lack of education.
Yes.
So although they're great at operations,
Hmm.
they don't know the business development side. And that's something that I know we're all working on toward, is to educate people more in that space. So if you could talk a little bit about that, I think that would be awesome.
I love it. This topic, it's one of our passions. It's always been one of our passions. I mean, doing this right now, it's been a goal of ours and a dream of ours to do, educating that Latino community, because like you said, we're very good are doing the work or operations. I mean, that's what we do. But we're not so good at creating a company, and that's what we need. And sometimes Latinos are just afraid that the doors are just going to be closed on them, and they think they don't have the same opportunities as other people, but we do. I'm an immigrant. I was born in Colombia, and so was Juan. So we come here just like our parents. We came here with our parents, and they all came here for a better life and just to work. They didn't have that mindset of creating opportunities. They just came to do the job, but we wanted something different, and we want to be able to give that back to the Latino community. Hey, these are the tools, these are the opportunities that you have access to, and then you can do this, so we like that. There's so much to do. We just getting started. I mean, we started with
I
the
know.
yes, we're just getting started, and all that I owe it to our company. Our first, the way this started was we wanted to, we were dreaming of doing this for our peers. And last year we did our first event within our community for just cleaning companies around us. And a lot of people would say, "Oh, you're calling in your competition and this and that." And no, I don't see it as a competition. I see it as a collaboration. We can all grow together. There is so much work for everybody. And if I can be an influence and help them grow, hey, I did my part in the world. I'm sharing, give by grace what you have received by grace. And that's what we're doing. So I owe it to our company that last year we did this. And when we saw the need, when we brought this Latino community, And there weren't only, let me just tell you, it was designed, our first event last year was just designed for the cleaning industry. And we had other people there. We had, I mean, event planners, we had beauticians, we had lawn companies, we had other people. So we saw the need that in the Spanish speaking community, there's a need for education in the business side,
Yes.
how do you open your company? What
Right.
insurance do you need? Hey, taxes. And a lot of people don't know that. Like, and we keep going back to the same thing. We're good at doing the job. We know how to work. I mean, we work our butts off, right? But we
Right.
don't know how to do these other things. So we want to be a part of that and teach them and educate.
It's so beautiful too, because I know that it comes from a genuine place of caring and wanting to help people. So it's awesome to see, what you guys are doing because a lot of these people really do need help. And, for me, like, almost call it like it's even like more than bringing it back to the basics. It's like really bringing it even like before the basics, right, with the Latino community. And there's a lot involved in there with being patient and pretty much just trying to educate them, like you said, on the business basics. But I feel like with what you guys are doing, it's definitely going to make a huge impact in a lot of people's lives because not only are you guys giving them the tools and the resources, but you are, a walking testament. So it's not just saying like, oh, hey, you can do it. Here's what you got to do. It's like, no, look at us. We came here from Colombia. Like you said, we all have the same opportunities, no matter what anybody, likes to say or argue about that. It's just about that lack of support and education and having somebody to look up to, right? If you don't have somebody to look up to admire, to want to be like, or someone that's going to put their hand out and give you a hand, then you're always going to be stuck in that same position until the opportunity, comes where somebody wants to teach you. So I'm super happy and excited for what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, it's a blessing. There's, and like you said about looking up to people, we look up to so many. I mean, we're just following also the footsteps of other people in our industry. I mean, we can talk about Ricky Regalado and how we all got to meet each other. Really, what he's doing and bringing the community together, our cleaning community together. So there's a lot of people that we can look up to. I mean, I look up to you, what you've been doing, and I see your effort. And now that you've shared about your family, there's something that we can relate. I've cleaned with my in-laws. My sister was here, and she cleaned with us, and Juan's aunt, and our kids. And what we've done, what we're doing. At least I know that they can see that we're hardworking people, and they can look up to us, and we can just be proud of what we're doing, really.
For sure. And like I think it's so great too because like your kids are watching you and like if I would just be so proud of you guys, So I know like your kids have to be super proud of both you and Juan and it really just shows them like, this is what you can accomplish, like if not more, right? Like
Mhm.
hard work, dedication, being persistent, not giving up and putting in the work, like you really can get to where you want to go. I know we were talking about your little one the other day and the photos I saw on Facebook. She's like a little mini CEO.
Oh my goodness. She calls herself the boss. She is. And then we
She is
tell
the
her this,
boss, yeah.
she is the boss. And then we tell her, she knows the story that really Bright Corners came to be because of her. Really, because she was on the way and she just said, yeah, I'm the boss. And she'll
This is
come
my
in.
company.
Yes, she'll come in and she'll put her feet out. I told you that she'll put her feet up on the desk and I'll just take over the office and she'll call herself the boss. So we'll see what she chooses to be when she grows older. She's only 12 now. My two olders have been part of the company, and as a matter of
Nice.
fact,
I love that.
yes, they have been part of the company. My older girl helped out with marketing, and they've also cleaned. And it was important for us to teach them and to have them see what we're doing. So
Oh,
we
100%. I
yes,
agree.
we have taught them. I mean, my husband Juan has taught my son to clean carpets. Hey, you need to learn. And a couple of years back, I like to share this story because a couple of years back, when they were at one of our offices, he saw some pictures of firemen. We were cleaning a fire office, and my son came home that night and he said, "I'm gonna be a firefighter." And I'm like, "Okay, you're gonna be a firefighter?" Yes. That night, when he decided to do that, they were cleaning a firefighter, one of the fireplaces. It was a fire headquarters office in here. And, I like to think that Bright Corners, our company, had something to do with that because he was
Oh,
doing fire that
100%.
night.
I'm sure if you guys didn't expose him to that account, either one, he would have never considered it, or if he did, it would have taken much longer, right? To kind of
Hmm.
present itself to him. So absolutely, you putting him in to clean that account had a huge impact on him becoming a firefighter. And he has, hasn't he?
He's a firefighter now. So yeah, a couple of
That's
years
beautiful.
after, he's a firefighter now, and he's going for his paramedic license, and he's all set. I mean, they didn't have to, and they don't have to be part of the company, and but if they want to do that at some point, they'll do that. But
Right.
they have their own life. We'll support them, and we are so proud and super happy. So we'll see
I
where
think it's
everything.
beautiful. And I think it's really great what you guys are doing. I do the same thing with my kids. Like they started cleaning, right? Like they were cleaning houses, they clean offices, they know how to clean. They did that for a while. During this past summer, they actually started cleaning a couple of boats at the marina, which was new for us.
Yes.
Um, and now my oldest, just like yours, she helps with our marketing. She's actually head of social media marketing. But it's really cool to see them evolve and still, like you said, let them do their own thing, let them figure it out.
Hmm.
Whether that's like what happened with your son, where he was working for you, found his passion. I'm hoping that happens with my oldest too.
Hmm.
Because she's like, I just want to kind of figure out my own stuff. And I'm like, okay, I totally get it. You don't want to work for mom.
Hmm.
Um, but in the process, I'm praying that with this experience with me, she's learning what she likes, what she doesn't like, and hopefully finds, her dream job or career like your son did with you guys at Bright Corners.
Yeah, and she will, because she has you. I mean, you're an awesome mother, a great, wonderful
Thank you.
woman, and then she has you. What better example than you, that she's seen hand to, I mean, face to face, what you've done, what you've accomplished, and she'll get there. She'll get there. She has
Oh,
a
for
great mom
sure.
supporting her.
I'm excited. Also, I wanted to say thank you on behalf of the Mel Group for agreeing to come speak at the event that we're having later on this month. I'm really excited to have you there, and it's going to be pretty cool for all of us. Again, women that we've met from networking and connecting, and something you mentioned earlier, not looking at each other as competition, right? There's enough work for everybody,
Yes.
empowering each other. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of, Raquel, Carla, and I for not just coming to talk, but taking time out of your day, spending your money to be there, because everything, your time is super valuable. You could be with your children, you could be, working on the business, but you're coming out to speak to these women that are just starting out, right? Like the women, the people that we were talking about, don't know much about business development, but are very good at operations. So I know 100% sure that you're definitely going to impact a number of women at the event in October at the end of this month.
I love it. I'm extremely excited and extremely grateful that you guys thought of me, and invited me. This, and especially the topic that you guys chose for me. It's one of my passions. It's really, it's a balance between life and business, and I love that. I love that. I just can't wait to share. I can't wait to get together again. We haven't traveled for a business conference for like a whole year now. Our very first one for this year was last week when we saw each other, and just being again with all of you guys, it was like a family reunion. I think I've created this community, this family, and it just feels great to share and to learn from each other, because one of the good things about this community is we could keep learning from each other.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. I love it.
All the time, all the time. I'm always learning from just speaking with people. I
Yes.
love how open we are with each other. If I need or have a question, nobody's like trying to gatekeep from me and vice versa.
Hmm.
And I think
Hmm.
that's why it's super important to get out there and find your people, because not everybody is going to be as warm and welcoming and open to share information. But if you don't attempt to make those connections, then you'll never really know who is, a good fit to be in your circle of friends or entrepreneurs.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
So one thing I want to just ask for the audience before we close out is, if you had one piece of advice for anyone that might have just be starting out or thinking of starting out, or maybe that's in the business and has been in the business for a couple of years and just doesn't feel like they are where they want to be, do you have any advice for them as to kind of how to get through that hard time? Um, Whether it's, not being able to find enough clients, or if they're considering maybe, giving up, or maybe they're just even thinking about starting a business. But do you have any advice that you would give to the new or struggling entrepreneur in the cleaning industry?
Well, an advice for the new or struggling entrepreneur, I think we definitely all come to the business wanting to make money, and we think everything is microwavable, especially this nowadays. And I got to tell you, going back to my story, it took me 6 months to get my first client. Nothing is like a TV dinner. Really, if this is something worth fighting for, you need to stay the course. You need to be persistent. And then also you need to look at your business, the things that you have done, what has worked, what is not working, then what can you do to change that. That's very important, to just sit back for a minute and just analyze what you've been doing. If you feel like you're stuck, then you really need to find what is that thing that you maybe need to tweak or change. Hey, and change is always it's good. If it's going to lead you to your goal, it's good. So number one, we think that we can nowadays really, and sometimes it's sad, and it's one of the things that why we want to educate people, because there's nowadays a service-based industry, a company, people, whether it's lawn care or whether it's a cleaning company, they open a company and they think it's going to just be instant winnings. Oh, I'll get my
Right.
contract and then we're making money. No, sometimes it doesn't work like that. You have to set your goals, make a plan, be persistent, keep going and keep working on it. So my advice will be, if you're feeling stuck, check yourself, check your business, and if you have to make some changes, change it. And then be persistent, stay the course, set your goals, and just go for it.
Thank you. And it's super important because people will, and this is not to upset anybody, because I'm speaking about myself somewhat, but sometimes, like, even me in the business, like, I will, earlier on, there were moments where I would feel stuck, or I wouldn't be making, hitting my monthly goal, and I would just kind of feel like a little bit sorry for myself almost, and like,
Mhm.
but then I would stay there, like a lot of us do, or have in the past. And my mentor would say exactly what you said. Well, what are you doing to make it any different, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so you're running your ads and you're spending 2 days a week out, knocking on doors. But what are you doing different? If you know
Hmm.
A, B, and C is not working, what are you doing different?
Exactly.
Maybe you need to go knock on doors 4 days a week. Maybe you need to, tweak something on the website. But like you said, it's all about changing things. You can't just be in the same place and
Hmm.
expect different results, right? Act on it,
Hmm.
tweak things, make the change, and most importantly, like you said, you have to be persistent. Um, some of us give up so easily, or too soon. Like, we really can't see how close we are to the goals that we're looking at, or the opportunities that are about to come. So it's like, if you've already tried, for a year, why give up? Like, you've done it already for a year. Like, you
Yeah.
could be just a couple of weeks, or a few conversations away from landing that client,
Yeah.
or tweaking something that's going to change how things are going. So I 100% agree with you. Like, be persistent, make the change, and just tweak as you go.
Exactly. And then there's another thing, that one size does not fit all. What works for you might not work for me. But we just have to find that one thing that will work for us, and keep going.
Right.
That's
That's
important.
also really important. Thank you for
Yeah.
that too. Because I think what we do as business owners starting off is we do want to kind of copycat or
Yeah.
be like or price like, but we're not all in the same market, right? Not everything works for each other differently. Just because you guys might be having an amazing ROI on Facebook ads, maybe that might not work for me. But the thing is, I won't know until I actually try.
Exactly. Yes, you need to try, and you need to find that one thing that that works for you. It might be a combination of everything, a little bit of everything, but you need to try it all and see what works best for you. And in those times where we feel stuck, I mean, business it's not linear. It has it up and down. The thing is, are we gonna stay there? Are we gonna get stuck in there, or we're just gonna break through and just keep going? That's the thing. And sometimes in the business world, it might get lonely and we might get sad, yeah, or it might feel sorry for ourselves. But we need to shake the dust off our feet and just keep pushing. I mean, you have a why. I have a why. You have family, you have your daughters to fight. I have my family to fight for. We all have that somebody to fight. We need to keep pushing. We need to keep going.
That's awesome. Thank you. I feel like that was an amazing closing, Regina. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to sit with us and, introduce yourself and your story to my viewers. Everybody, I'm going to link all of Regina's contact information in the description of this video. Make sure you give her and Juan a follow on Instagram, follow their Facebook page, check out what they're doing because, again, they are an amazing family. They have an amazing business, and now they are also helping the cleaning community, which is awesome. And I'm so excited to see, everything that you guys are working on and how many people you're going to impact, because I know this is definitely, I feel it. This is like a movement. Like I can just feel it. Like it's time to educate, empower people. And again, thank you to Ricky. I feel like he kind of like helped, like kind of inspired us all a little bit, right?
Yeah.
In one way or another. But thank you to Ricky Regalado for starting this movement for the Latino community and the cleaning community in
Yeah,
general.
definitely.
For sure. But thank you again, Regina. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks at our event in Dallas.
I
Regina's
know.
going to be speaking, so you guys will definitely be seeing a lot more of her on our channel soon. So again, thank you so, so much.
Yes,
And I
I
look
want
forward
to
to
do.
seeing you.
Me too. I'm so excited. Number one, I've never been to Dallas. Number two, I just can't wait to be around you all and just to share. So I'm super excited. Why don't we do just a little invitation in Spanish for that community de las mujeres de Mel?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's
¿Parece?
do it. Let's do it.
Ok. Bueno, mujeres de Mel, les invitamos, por favor, no se pueden perder el evento en Dallas, Texas. Tienen que estar con nosotros. Vamos a compartir de cosas extraordinarias. Van a ver unas mujeres extraordinarias que van a traer valor a tu vida personal y a tu vida empresarial. Así que únete a nosotros, Mujeres de Mel. Estamos en un tiempo donde la mujer latina en nuestra industria de la limpieza debe de ser empoderada y sacada a la luz con todo lo maravilloso que somos y con todo lo maravilloso que hacemos, todo el fruto de estas manitos. Así que los invitamos a que se unan con nosotros en Dallas, Texas, del 23 al 24 y 25 de octubre en Dallas, Texas.
Yay, that was so good. Thank you, Regina.
Awesome. Oh, I love it.